Hello there, thanks for joining me this Monday on 7Edition. I'm Shafiqa Rizali and these are tonight's top stories. UMNO Alliance, a threat to unity and race relations, says Prime Minister. Court frees Indonesian suspect in Kim JongNam murder case. And airlines ground Boeing 737 MAX planes after Ethiopian air crash. Good evening. We begin tonight's bulletin with this story. Indonesian Siti Aisyah, one of the accused in the 2017 killing of the North Korean leader's half-brother Kim JongNam, has been released from custody after the Shah Alam High Court dropped the murder charge against her. The 26-year-old had been accused of poisoning JongNam with the VX nerve agent, a banned chemical weapon, at KLIA in February 2017. It was a surprise move as the court had on Monday been scheduled to hear the testimony of her Vietnamese co-defendant, 30-year-old Duan Thi Huong. Indonesia's Foreign Ministry spokesman Armanatha Nasir said Siti Aisyah's release was the result of government efforts and that preparations were underway to bring her home tonight. From the outset of the case, there were suspicions that JongNam was the victim of plot arranged by 4 North Korean agents who left Malaysia in the hours after the killing, and the 2 women had merely been pawns in a political assassination. The pair had always denied murder, saying they believed they were taking part in a prank for a reality TV show and were tricked by the North Korean agents who are still at large.
Perasaan saya sangat bahagia, nggak nyangka kalau hari ini hari kebebasan saya. Terima kasih kepada Presiden saya Bapak Jokowi, terima kasih kepada Bapak Menteri-Menteri, terima kasih kepada Bapak Kedutaan Indonesia yang telah melantik peguam daripada Malaysia.
30-year-old Thi Huong is still in custody. The women were charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code, which provides a mandatory death sentence upon conviction. South Korea has accused the North of ordering the hit, which Pyongyang denies. An unemployed man was sentenced to 7 months in jail and fined 10,000 ringgit by the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court for insulting Prophet Muhammad and Islam on social media. Judge Hasbullah Adam handed down the sentence to 52-year-old Muhammad Yazid Kong Abdullah, who pleaded guilty last Friday to the charge under the Communications and Multimedia Act. The accused would also have to serve an additional 2 months in jail if he could not settle the fine. Yazid was accused of making 3 Facebook posts on February 24th that insulted Islam and the Prophet. The posts were read by one Muhammad Saifuddin Mustafa on March 1st, who subsequently lodged a report at the Wangsa Maju police station. Police will call in the organisers of the International Women's Day March to provide statements on the proceedings of the event, which also saw the participation of the lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender LGBT community supporters. Deputy Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Nur Rashid Ibrahim today stressed that any party that does not inform the District Police Chief or OCPD that they are holding a gathering has committed an offence under the Peaceful Assembly Act.
Ketua Polis Daerah harus dimaklumkan supaya kita dapat buat laluan alternatif atau kita dapat maklumkan kepada masyarakat adanya aktiviti ini supaya everybody is happy. Kita tidak mahu you buat perarakan ni mengganggu lalu lintas, mengganggu orang lain, merosakkan imej dan sebagainya. Walaupun isu tu, you kata you ada hak untuk bawa isu tu. I mean, you must respect ada sesuatu. Dalam tujuan ini, of course, kita buka siasatan, kita akan ambil keterangan dan kita akan rujuk kepada AG Pejabat Hukum Negara nanti. Sama ada mereka ni dituduh ataupun tidak apabila siasatan lengkap lagi.
He said this after witnessing the handing over ceremony for the Kedah Police Chief post at the State Police Headquarters in Alor. On Saturday afternoon, hundreds of people gathered in front of Sogo Shopping Mall in Kuala Lumpur in conjunction with International Women's Day, demanding for equal rights. The participants included members of Women's Aid Organisation and Sisters in Islam, activists, students and various people from all across Malaysia. In Sarawak, a grocery store owner had his left hand sliced off by a man in Pekan Kabong last night. The incident occurred at 10:30 p.m. when the assailant, armed with a parang, suddenly rushed into the victim's shop and started slashing him. The 25-year-old victim, however, could only block the attack with his hands, which severed his left hand. The 24-year-old suspect then fled the scene. However, police managed to arrest him not long after the incident. Authorities said the victim, who did not know the suspect, was taken to Sarikei Hospital and is now in stable condition. The motive of the attack has yet to be determined and the case is being investigated under the Penal Code. 3 men, including 2 company owners, have been arrested over the illegal chemical dumping in Sungai Kim Kim, Johor, which led to 79 people being treated after inhaling hazardous fumes. The arrests were conducted in a joint operation between the State Department of Environment and the police between yesterday evening and today.
Kita terus ambush kilang tu. Kenapa kita ambush? Kerana kilang ni dalam proses sitaan JAS. Bila proses sitaan, dia cuba keluarkan semua bahan bukti dan itu jadi suspek utama kita lah. Bila kita pergi, terbukti bahan bukti telah dikeluarkan, lagi kuatlah kita punya suspek kita.
He revealed that the first suspect is the owner of a chemical processing factory in Kuala, while the second suspect is the owner and a worker of a waste processing factory in Pasir Putih. The case is being investigated under the Environmental Quality Act, which carries a fine of up to 500,000 ringgit or up to 5 years jail upon conviction. Meanwhile, the 2 schools that were affected by the toxic chemical fumes were ordered to close for the second time in 5 days when they had just reopened today. Students had complained again of breathing difficulties due to inhalation of toxic fumes. The schools will remain closed until a decision is made by the Johor Disaster Action Committee. In Sarawak, 2 women were killed and 3 men were injured in a 2-vehicle collision in Kampung Sepupuk in Yah Miri this morning. The fatal crash involving a Proton Persona and a Toyota Hilux occurred at 7:15 a.m. A State Fire and Rescue Department spokesperson said the female victims, aged 37 and 42, were rushed to the Batu Niah Health Clinic, but both succumbed to their injuries there. 2 other male passengers in the Persona and the Hilux driver only sustained light injuries and were taken to the same clinic for treatment. The cause of the incident is still being investigated. Moving on, a 10-year-old girl was killed and 2 other school children were seriously injured when a car driven by an intoxicated man ploughed into them in Kota Belud, Sabah this morning. The 54-year-old driver has been arrested by police to facilitate investigations into the 6:45 a.m. incident at Kampung Tempasok 2. The 3 victims were identified as Max Christie of SK Tempasok 2, who died at the scene, while her schoolmate, 7-year-old Max Rayona Masdi and Michelle Marianne David, aged 14, of SMK Pekan 1, are in critical condition. It was learned that the children had been standing by the roadside waiting for their transport to school when the crash occurred. Based on initial police investigations, the suspect, a farmer, was driving his Nissan Sentra from the town centre to his home when he lost control of his vehicle, which swerved and rammed the students before crashing into a concrete house nearby. District Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Zaidi Abdullah said the driver suffered only minor injuries and received treatment at the district hospital before being arrested for suspected drunk driving. The case is being investigated under the Road Transport Act. Elsewhere, a senior citizen was burnt to death when his car crashed and burst into flames in Jempol, Negeri Sembilan at about 10 a.m. today. It was believed that the victim, identified as 63-year-old Felda settler Razwan Jaklan, had lost control of the vehicle, which then skidded and fell into a small ravine before it caught fire. The Proton Gen 2 car was completely razed by the time firemen arrived at the scene at Jalan Besar, Palung Lapan. The charred remains of the victim were extricated from the vehicle and brought to Jempol Hospital for post-mortem. Now, a total of 666 candidates of the 2018 Sijil Tinggi Pelajaran Malaysia (STPM) obtained a cumulative grade point average (CGPA) of 4.00 or 4 flat, an increase of 0.42% from the 485 candidates in the previous year. Malaysian Examinations Council (MAC) Chairman Datuk Professor Dr. Zul Azhar Zahid Jamal said this contributed to the better overall results for the year, with a 2.80 national CGPA score as compared to 2.76 in 2017.
Prestasi secara umum dia meningkat. Di segi PNGK nasional pun sudah meningkat ke 2.80, dan kalau kita lihat tadi boleh dikatakan hampir keseluruhan subjek-subjek ada peningkatan. Dan kita lihat juga jurang, yang paling penting jurang antara sekolah-sekolah dalam dan luar bandar semakin rapat.
Speaking at a press conference in Seri Kembangan, Selangor today, Datuk Zul Azhar also said 73.42% of candidates who scored a 4 flat are from the B40 group. He added the number and percentage of candidates who obtained a CGPA of 3.50 and above also increased to 7,129 candidates from 6,408 candidates in 2017. In general, all 22 subjects offered in the 2018 STPM recorded full pass of more than 70% with grade C and above. 3 subjects, namely biology, physics and information and communication technology (ICT), showed full pass increase by over 3% as compared to 2017. When we come back, man caught bathing in tank used at Mama restaurant. Details next. Thanks for staying with us. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the UMNO Alliance is an attempt to alienate the Malays from other races. He pointed out that his Pakatan Harapan coalition is also looking into after the interest of the Malays, but stressed that it was not at the expense of the other races.
We are also looking after the interest of the Malays, accepting that we don't shout at them. They try to separate Malays from other races. That is very bad for a multiracial government. The interests of the place will be looked after by PH. We want to make sure that it is not only equal but fair. Our relation must be fair and equal, not just equal without fairness.
UMNO and PAS had recently formed an official alliance to rally Malay support against Pakatan. Several Pakatan leaders have retaliated against the move, claiming that it was an insult to a multiracial society. However, Tun Dr. Mahathir also said that the government will not hinder the PAS-UMNO pact, as Malaysia was a democratic country. Meanwhile, Tun Dr. Mahathir was also asked regarding Johor Crown Prince Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim's criticism on Malaysia's decision to accede to the Rome Statute, a treaty governing the International Criminal Court. Tunku Ismail claimed that the treaty would render the Malay rulers' status irrelevant. In a string of tweets, the Johor Crown Prince also claimed that he was informed that the rulers were never consulted prior to Malaysia acceding to the Rome Statute.
EMJ claiming that Putrajaya did not consult with Majlis Raja-Raja before acceding to the Rome Statute.
Yesterday, Wisma Putra assured that the monarchy's status and position would not be threatened after Malaysia acceded to the Rome Statute. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah said national leaders must listen and take into account the demands of the people when drawing up policies and programs for them. He said this at his opening speech for the second term of the 14th Parliament at the Parliament Building in Kuala Lumpur today. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong said the people now want a responsible government that listens to their opinions and aspirations.
Rakyat hari ini bukan sahaja mahukan pembangunan, bahkan sebuah kerajaan yang bersih, telus, bertanggungjawab serta mendaulatkan undang-undang untuk membawa negara ke tahap yang lebih baik. Rakyat juga mahu kerajaan yang mendengar pandangan dan aspirasi mereka, maka adalah wajar setiap pemimpin-pemimpin mengambil kira tuntutan tersebut semasa merangka sebarang dasar dan program.
Also gracing the occasion was Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Aziza Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria Almarhum Sultan Iskandar. Meanwhile, the King also reminded members of Parliament to embrace integrity and other good values while working towards developing the nation. He also expressed his gratitude for the government's efforts in introducing the National Anti-Corruption Plan and enforcing the relevant laws to strengthen the country's administration in a bid to improve its standing in the Corruption Perceptions Index. Al-Sultan Abdullah emphasized that it is imperative for the nation to combat corruption as it will burden the people and destroy the country's foundation. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong also drew laughter from the chamber for his casual remark about the Parliament's 60th anniversary this year.
Relax. Ahli yang berhormat, pada tahun ini Parlimen Malaysia akan menyambut ulang tahun yang ke-60. Sama umur dengan saya. Kita berharap semua pihak harus menjunjung prinsip demokrasi berparlimen agar ia terus subur dan utuh.
Earlier, the King livened up the mood in the House by casually inviting all members of Parliament to sit down before starting his speech, prompting smiles and giggles from the audience. Meanwhile, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong had earlier officiated the Parliament session for the first time after being sworn in as the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. He was greeted by Tun Dr. Mahathir and his wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali, as well as Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail. His Majesty was then escorted to the Royal Dais, where the national anthem was played, followed by a 21-gun salute before delivering his royal address in the Dewan Rakyat. The Dewan Rakyat will convene for 30 days until April 11th, followed by Dewan Negara for 18 days from April 22nd till May 9th. Sultan Abdullah was led to the Royal Chamber for a photo session. The government is considering introducing a law to deal with racist and sensitive comments on online news portals and social media. Communications and Multimedia Minister Gobind Singh Deo said his ministry had received many complaints regarding inflammatory remarks on social media and news portals which touched on the sensitivities of race, religion and the royal institution.
Saya dalam proses menimbangkan sama ada ataupun tidak satu undang-undang seharusnya digubalkan untuk kita melihat kepada aspek itu, tetapi itu perkara masih dalam pertimbangan, belum dibawa kepada kabinet lagi.
He was commenting on the royal address by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, who said the government must take strict action against those who abuse freedom of expression and cause disharmony. Gobind said the MCMC found that the comment section of some online news portal was being abused by social media users with postings of sensitive comments. Unfortunately, there's no monitoring happening in regards with the situation. Moving on, let's hop on to our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. We often encounter hygiene issues related to restaurants nowadays, as netizens begin to expose them one by one from time to time. Another similar case came to light recently, involving a man who allegedly was bathing or playing in a water tank, believed to be located above a mama restaurant in Pekan Sungai Besi. The video was shared on Facebook and has since garnered over 190,000 views. Here's what happened. Recorded by some employees who were working at the opposite building, the 16 seconds video footage of the incident showed the man playing with the water in the tank. However, it remains unclear whether this is related to hygiene or just a misunderstanding. The viral video has drawn many criticisms among netizens. Some said the person who posted the video should ask for valid explanation from the owner before posting it, as it could damage the restaurant's reputation, while others said the man might have been cleaning the tank. Now updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. After the break, Malaysia Airlines Berhad may consider cancelling order of model. We'll be right back. Back on the local front, the government has not come to an immediate decision on whether or not Malaysia Airlines Berhad will continue with its purchase of the Boeing 737 MAX 8. Transport Minister Anthony Loke said the planes were supposed to be delivered by next year, but the national carrier is currently studying various options. Loke added even if Malaysia Airlines and the government want to review the purchase, they must take into consideration the various legal implications of their action. In its response, the national carrier said it has written to Boeing seeking for more technical details ahead of the delivery of its order expected in 2020.